Finally! Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to talk about the fact that Hot Toys have finally released their End Game Loki. The news broke earlier on this morning, in the early hours of my time anyway, where Hot Toys put up their official kind of blogger pics from the Hot Toys End Game 1/6 scale Loki. It put it up on their Facebook, their Instagram. Just a few details about this particular figure. So this is obviously from the End Game line. It's the Avengers 2012 suit though, which I'm going to reference later on because I like the way, because it kind of plugs in with two different things then. It's $260, which isn't bad now. Well, in fairness now, this thing was released, or announced should I say, so long ago. I think it was back in 2019 when Endgame came out. And the fact that inflation has got so high now, $260 isn't bad. I literally thought you could pay for this in shillings and farthings, right? Because of inflation. Like, it's been so long. So it's not perfect. Now, full disclosure, I don't have a Loki in my collection, okay? And I'm not a completionist, but Loki is one of the characters I think is such a pivotal part of the MCU, not just Endgame, but as I referenced already, Avengers 2012, which this is literally Avengers 2012. This figure is a 2.0 that they've done already, and I do think it's an improvement. It's not perfect, but we're going to take a look at it. I do want this. Is it on my pre-order list? Have I pre-ordered it? No, I've been waiting. It's on my wish list. So my pre-order list is there. Endgame Loki's not on it because I haven't clicked the pre-order button. I haven't pre-ordered this. Now, my wish list is just appearing above me now. There it is. It's on my wish list. So figures that I want that I haven't committed to pre-ordering yet. Why? Because I want to see the final product. Now, I'm just going to switch here. So what you're looking at there is the actual product. We're going to come back. We're going to take a look at all these blogger pictures. But I just want to go back to the prototype images. Now, these prototype images, this head sculpt, it took a lot of negativity. It took a bit of slack. I personally really like this. I actually think this is better than what we got. And I'm not slating what we got. I'm going to talk about that as well. But if we got what was it on the photo here, I'd been very happy with it. I think it's actually a bit better. So this is a figure. I'm not a completionist. I'm not a completionist at all. I don't need everything. No, I don't need everything. Nor do I have the money or the space to get anything. And even if I did, I wouldn't. I'm kind of selective, right? So this is a key character from the MCU. It's a villain, and he's in that kind of like zone of, is he a villain, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy, which, let's face it, makes him more interesting. Just above me here I've got floating shelves, and it's essentially an Endgame display with the key characters from Endgame. So got the battle damage Mark 85, got the Endgame Cap, got the battle damaged armored Thanos, Infinity War Spider-Man. Granted, it's branded Infinity War, but come on, it was there in the Endgame battle, so I'm treating it as Endgame. And they're all figures that I really, really like and love. Oh, I've actually got the Iron Patriot with Rocket on his shoulder. But I don't need to have every single Endgame figure. But this is one of the ones I want because it's a plug-in. What I mean by that is, even though I'm not a completionist, I like to get figures that either stand well on their own or stand well on their own and plug in with other. They can be paired with different types of characters. For example, this would pair perfectly. It would fit in with my Endgame display, but it would also pair perfectly with the Mark 6. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Yeah. So my Mark 6, and that's branded Avengers. A lot of people actually at Mark 6, that die-cast Mark 6 Iron Man, a lot of people think it's Iron Man 2. It's actually not. It's actually branded Avengers, and which is what's unusual is that, like, it does come with that Avengers kind of suit up thing that he has. It's like you know, the platform that he steps out onto during Avengers, and he walks along, and all these, you know, there's a big circle in Avengers, and on the top of Stark Tower, and it takes off all his armor and stuff like that. So it comes with a small version of that. It's actually not true 1/6 scale, which is a bit annoying because true 1/6 scale would be absolutely huge. I've actually seen third parties do them. They're really, really nice. But that particular Mark 6, that die-cast Mark 6 special edition, it's branded Avengers, but yet it comes with some of the battle damage parts that are actually battle damage from Iron Man 2. Anyway, complete side tangent, but this would pair really well with that because they're both featuring in key scenes in Avengers. When he comes down, he said, your move reindeer games, and all the different pieces pop out and stuff like that on the Iron Man suit. This is the outfit that Loki was wearing. So this is the one that I want. I'm only going to get one. It's like I have the Endgame cap. I don't need more than one Captain America. So this particular figure was on my radar, we'll say. It's on my wish list, and I was waiting to see how the final sculpt turned out. So we're going to flick through. I'm going to go to this picture here first. Yeah, so that does look like Tom Hiddleston to me. Now, I did say in my video, I did a video months ago, a pre-order preview video based on this, giving my thoughts on it. And I think Tom Hiddleston is there. Like, bear in mind, this is the prototype images. And I actually quite like this head sculpt. And what I like about it as well is not only could you display it like that, but you could also display it with the helmet, or, let me flick through here. I like the way you have the handcuffs and stuff like that, and the Tesseract. That's a nice touch, simple little touches. Really, really cool. I like the... Come on, where are these? There we go. I actually think that's pretty cool. I would display it like that, genuinely would display it like that, and I mentioned that in my video before. But I'm just going to pop an image up on here. I'm going to go back to this image because I think the angle, that image there, that looks like Tom Hiddleston to me. Now I'm just going to pop an image up there. Now, this is not my image because I don't have this in hand. I just took this off. I think it was actually, I think someone posted on 6Scale Mafia or something like that. Now, it could be harsh lighting, but the hair looks very, very thin. Now, I'm not sure now even, maybe this isn't even a real photo of the figure. I think it is. If I was a betting man, I'd be like, yeah, it is. But maybe it was photoshopped or something, but I genuinely think this is an actual proper photo. Could be a bad photo. But that kind of, you know, the hair in the one on the main screen here, the prototype, the hair looks darker, thicker, fuller. The hair on this one that's popping up on screen here, it's thinner, and the forehead looks like it's receding hairline, something like that. And he you know, he might have a high hairline, but the hair isn't that thin. So that is a concern. That is a concern. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flick into what you've come to see, and we're going to talk about the actual images. So this is the actual product. As you can see here, not my photos, these are the blogger photos from Jingo Bell Photography. I just took them off the Hot Toys official Facebook page. We're going to take a look at this. Now, if we flick through them all, we'll go through them a bit slowly, but I'm just going to flick through them all. Now, I'm not sure how many figures or how many photos are here, but I flicked through these earlier and I could not find an image. You know what I'm going to say? I could not find an image with Loki with his helmet off. And even on the other ones, the first teaser images, not really teaser images, the ones there's 4 or 5 photos they posted initially with just the head sculpt. Couldn't find a photo with the helmet off, and that is a bit concerning because that leads me to believe that that photo I just popped up earlier on is actually what the head sculpt looks like without the helmet. Bit disappointing. Right, let's talk about this. What's good about it? Do I see Tom Hiddleston here? Now, I did say here on the prototype images in the video that I did a few months ago that I do think this is Tom Hiddleston. I do think this is like him. I would be happy with this. It's not a 10 out of 10. I would say it's a solid 8, maybe an 8.5. This here, I think maybe it's a 7.5, maybe an 8. But the thing with this has its helmet off and it still looks like Tom Hiddleston, whereas this is the helmet on, it covers up most of the face. And I think that when figures like those old Iron Man figures with the before nanotech, when the faceplate comes off, I think it's maybe easier to convince the audience maybe that it is Rhodey or Robert Downey Jr. when you just have that small bit to work with. They can put all the effort into that. Maybe I'm wrong there, but so a quick look, I do see Tom Hiddleston, but I don't think it's as convincing as this. So something has definitely changed. There's awful controversy with this figure as well. Apparently they had them ready and a big container fell off into the sea or something like that on the way to Sideshow, but I don't think that actually happened because realistically not all the figures that Hot Toys produce end up on a cargo ship to Sideshow. Some stay in Hong Kong and they get sold out, or they get sold there locally. So yeah, I don't think that's the case really. Now maybe I'm wrong on that. Again, I actually don't know. I don't have a source on that, but it was heavily delayed and people expected great things. The outfit I think looks fantastic. I do think the outfit looks fantastic. I've mentioned already, I really like this touch with these the kind of handcuffs with the chain and stuff like that. It's scene specific. I think that's pretty cool. I really like the outfit. I think the silhouette, the main thing for me, I think that the proportions are good and I think the silhouette looks good, and I think it will look fantastic paired with that Mark 6 or just standing on a shelf, because like I've got the floating shelves. I've done a video on it if you want to check it out, but I've got Thanos on the top floating shelf and then there's 2 floating shelves here and 2 floating shelves here. I think it would really look good if Loki's maybe like kind of down on the second floating shelf, so Thanos at the top, and then have Loki just down to the right or something like that. Like, I am still leaning towards get it. Like, all that there, like, the outfit looks good. I'm looking forward to seeing I presume Justin's review is going to do a comparison with the previous version of this, the Avengers 2012 version, because this here, it's Endgame, but it's also 2012. You've different plugins or options to pose this with different figures, like I've mentioned already. Yeah, I really like the outfit, and the scepter looks kind of cool as well. Tesseract, nice touch. It's an accessory I would actually use. Now here, I do want to just kind of, the first thing I saw when I woke up in the morning, I just logged into Instagram, was I saw those photos of Loki. It was just a close-up of the head sculpt, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, definitely not a bad head sculpt. I wouldn't look at this and go, oh my god, this is awful. I definitely wouldn't do that. I think it's good. I think it's okay. I don't think it's like, it's not the best head sculpt I've ever seen. It's not a 10. It's not a 9. I'm not sure if it'd even be an 8. It might be like scrape the 8, where if I flick back to this, I think this is a solid 8. And especially that there's no hiding here. The helmet isn't on, the mask isn't on. You can see that I see Tom Hiddleston there any day of the week. That's like a solid, strong 8. But this, I think it's kind of leaning towards, maybe if it kept the helmet on, it might scrape an 8, maybe a 7.5. But I think I'd be willing to excuse it because it's the whole presence. It's more than the head sculpt. I don't think it's a bad head sculpt. I think it's enough to get by. But then there's that kind of dilemma of, these pieces are so expensive. You're backing this up if you buy this, you know? Like, I still do want it. And for $260, and let's face it, this is going to the bargain bin. You're going to get deals on this. I'd be very surprised this doesn't drop down. This is one that I'll keep an eye out and more than likely get under retail. So positives, pros and cons. The first obvious positive is the outfit looks fantastic. And I think the accessories are kind of cool as well. Not seeing Tom Hiddleston from that angle, to be honest. It's a bit there, but it's not all the way there. So again, just to reiterate, this is not a perfect head sculpt. It's not a 10, it's not a 9. I'd struggle to give this an 8. Originally in the morning I woke up and saw those first ones. I was like, yeah, it looks like an 8. But I'm looking at the different angles here, and I think you have to look at the different angles realistically. It could be dropping down to a 7.5, a 7. Is it enough for me to commit? I think it's enough for me to commit. It looks better there straight on, I think, but it's still, I think it's like the top lip they've got on this, they've absolutely nailed. There's something about the mouth here, there's something about this, I can't tell if it's the eyes or the top lip, that they've done better. Now, the first thing, this is actually a good photo to bring me on to the next point. The second thing I saw when I woke up is a meme. I think it was by, it cracked me up. I think it was by Jordan, Oilers Workshop. It was like motocross Loki. And now I can't unsee it. It had like this here or something, like one of these photos. I think it was the one more straight on. And next to it then it had him like photoshopped a motocross helmet or whatever like that. And I thought that was quite funny because this helmet does look a bit bigger than, say, here. Like, that looks a bit more form-fitting. And I think if you disagree, you're kind of kidding yourself a bit. Because look, this looks a bit more form-fitting. Like, it's a big helmet anyway. It is a big helmet with the horns and everything like that. But that just looks a bit, the fit is a bit better, I think. Now, is it the angle? Now here, now it is quite high there. Let's be honest, it is quite high there. But it looks like it's got an extra bit here. It's looked like it's a bit Megamind there, I think. Yeah, and don't let the glasses fool you. I've got 20/20 vision. These glasses are just blue light glasses. To protect against the blue light, it's, what's it, melatonin? I think it's melatonin. It's the stuff that makes you fall asleep naturally, and blue light actually inhibits production of it. I like my sleep. The side looks fine. I honestly can't tell if the helmet is a bit bigger. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon. I do think in certain images it does look a bit bigger, but if you think about it, right? If you think about it here, his head is slightly tilted downwards. Okay, you're looking at it from not a straight on angle. It is slightly tilted downwards, so naturally it would look a bit bigger. So I'm not entirely sure if that is just the angle they're using. I'm going to flick through some of these as a comparison. The fit on this helmet does look better, I have to say. The head sculpt does look a bit better as well. Oh, that's the prototype, look really cool though. I think the TVA Loki is why people were annoyed about the prototype, because let's face it, the TVA Loki prototype head sculpt is the best. Hot Toys 1/6 scale. It's the best. I think it's the best Tom Hiddleston head sculpt I've seen, definitely from Hot Toys 1/6 scale. This one just isn't all the way there. But I do want the Loki. So I think I'm going to wait and see if this gets dropped down. I think it's the Cable effect, really. Like, Cable was 270, had it fully paid off. Saw the prototype images and decided, no, I don't think that's worth 270. So I cancelled, kept my NRD, and I got it from an absolute banger deal from Lion Rock Toys. And I'm very, very happy with it. Yeah, like, I mean, the head sculpt on that is still good. It's just softened. Still looks like Josh Brolin, just softened. The biggest complaint was the body was definitely skinnier. I don't care what anyone says. I've looked at the prototype, I've looked at the real thing, I have it in hand. The body's skinnier. You don't have the option to pose it topless. Those joints are kind of awful, but I was never going to pose it like that. I want the poncho, I want the t-shirt, I want the vest, I want the poncho with all his accessories. That's one of those cool figures that you can pose with so much of his accessories that he comes in. It doesn't look like you're trying to shoehorn them in. So I think I might go down the Cable effect on this. I do think overall it's a good figure. I am still interested in it. My one gripe with it, the major gripe, okay, the head sculpt is not as good as the prototype, I don't think, personally. My biggest gripe with it is that hairline, and I was going to pose it. I'll show you exactly what I had in mind. The first pose I wanted to do with it, actually. I really looking forward to taking photos of this here. I think that looks really cool. Like, and you're incorporating some of the accessories. I like to incorporate some of the accessories that like are scene specific. You've got this muzzle, I presume it is, just trying to shut him up. The handcuffs look cool. The Tesseract, I think that's a deadly pose. Now maybe, again, you know how I feel about the in-hand argument. You know, I've seen a lot of photos this morning. I've seen some fantastic photos. I'm looking forward. I'm going to watch every single review on this, and maybe in hand it will look better. But I am skeptical. Yeah, so look, I'm gonna kind of round off this video. In conclusion, I am still interested in this. I still think it looks good, but a few little gripes. I think the helmet might be a little bit too big, depending on the angle. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the type of thing I'll have to investigate myself in hand. Maybe not as much as like people are saying about it. I think maybe it could be a bandwagon thing. One person sees and you can't unsee it. I would have noticed it if I didn't see the meme. I'm not sure, but it was funny. Jordan, if you're watching, that actually just cracked me up. That was just laughed my head off when I saw that. Biggest gripe is the hairline effect, and yeah, the head sculpt isn't as good as the prototype. But overall, I don't have a Loki. I think it beats the threshold for me to commit to get it. And I think I'll be able to get it better than 260. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about this. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this figure. Are you going to pick it up or not? You can also follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. Oh yeah, if you're watching this, I'm going to go live at some point today for Cyber Monday and stuff like that. That's the end of the video. Good luck.